What's going to be with Iran and Gaza post-war? Take a look at this clip over here with Bret Baier doing an interview with the Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister of the UAE. And he's talking about President Trump's recent visit to the region and how he sees the region evolving over the next few years. So let's watch this clip together and then talk about it. But first, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Check this out.
This accord will enable us to continue to stand by the Palestinian people and realize their hopes for an independent state within a stable and prosperous region. This accord builds upon previous peace agreements signed by Arab nations with the State of Israel. The aim of all these treaties is to work towards stability and sustainable development.
So those historic remarks at the Abraham Accords signing ceremony at the White House, September 2020. The man speaking is our next guest, Sheikh Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the UAE Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister. Your Highness, it's great to see you again. Welcome back to Special Report.
Brett, it's always great to be with you, and I know your show is watched widely by millions. Congratulations.
Thank you. A big day here today with the President's visit. What does it mean for this country, for the region, and where you see things?
It's definitely a historical day for us, for our relationship. The President Trump and America has been so great to the UAE in supporting this relationship, taking it even further ahead. We are a very welcoming nation like yours. People are free to do whatever they like and practice religion the way they see appropriate. Churches, mosques, synagogues, Hindu temples, you name it. And I really believe that our values are quite similar. I mean, we both take family as a core part of our relationship. When we look at the rest of the world, unfortunately, some don't agree with us, but most do.
This is a big financial trip for investment in the U.S. and investment in the Middle East. You did deals today, and you've pledged more than $1.4 trillion over the next 10 years. The President touts that very proudly. What does that mean, do you think, for that interaction between the U.S. bilaterally in the future?
It works because your nation has been so open for business, and we've learned from you. We've been investing in the United States for decades, but now we're taking it one step further, not only in terms of size, but in terms of trust, and we're grateful for President Trump for that.
There is a lot of turmoil in the region, and one of the big questions is Iran and what will happen. Here's what the President said about that.
It's not like I have to give you 30 pages worth of details. There's only one sentence: they can't have a nuclear weapon. There's two steps. There's a very, very nice step, and there's a violent step. The violence like people haven't seen before. And I hope we're not going to have to do this. I don't want to do the second step.
Where do you think this is going? Do you think Iran's going to make a deal that dismantles its nuclear program?
Brett, I believe in good models. I look at the UAE and see that the UAE have made a nuclear deal with the United States.
A 1, 2, 3,
it's called the
yeah.
1, 2, 3, and it's called the gold standard. I really wish that people in the region and beyond look at how this deal has been such a benefit for both our nations.
Which gives you civilian nuclear power. You have like 4 power plants.
Right.
You're cooking on all cylinders when
Yes.
it comes to that.
And by the way, it was built on time, on budget. Believe it or not, for a nuclear reactor, it's not very much likely to happen.
So do you think there's a model there for Iran, you all, Saudi Arabia, that somehow gets to this heart of this issue of dismantling its nuclear program on the weapons side?
Brett, it's about trust and transparency. And if we can overcome these two elements, we can do great things together.
They've been bad actors on a number of fronts, though. The proxies, the Houthis, the Hamas. So there's got to be other red lines, right?
I believe that a country should respect international law. I really hope that Iran looks at the approach of President Trump in such an opening of the United States towards the Iranian people, which could be very much beneficial for the Iranians, but it's for the Iranian people to make.
All right, Gaza, Hamas, it's still going on. There's still hostages that haven't been released. How do you see that, and how do you see it ending? We started with the Abraham Accords and the historic relationship that you now have with Israel and as well as Bahrain. Is that going to happen in this environment with anybody else?
Let me answer the question in a different way. The UAE has provided over 42% of all international aid into Gaza in the last almost 2 years now, during this war. If it wasn't for the Abraham Accords between the UAE and Israel, with the great role that was played by and initiated by President Trump, I don't think we will be as capable in delivering that much aid into Gaza.
But who should secure Gaza when Israel has finished its military operation? I mean, does Israel need to leave immediately? Do you all play a role? How does it, like, paint the picture, how we get to the next step?
First, getting the hostages out. We need calm in Gaza. And we need an authority that's not Hamas that controls Gaza. If we can provide assistance, ideas, we're always here to do so.
You met with the Palestinian Authority recently. Are they open?
I think they are very much fed up with the current situation, and you can hear it from them. They want an end to this war. Now, will they have a role or not? That depends on how the United States, Israel, and the rest would help or avoid doing so at the moment. But eventually, it's only for the Palestinians to run the place.
Syria. It seems like they're trying to come back into the fold, if you will. The president's saying he's lifting sanctions. Should President Trump trust Syrian President al-Shara?
Well, I think it's too early to use that word.
Trust.
Trust. I think he and his government have been saying the right things. It's clear that they don't have the capacity at the moment in fulfilling their messages. I really hope that lifting these sanctions would provide them with these capacities, but we have to verify. I mean, this is what President Reagan once said, trust but verify.
You're plugged into a lot of these things around the region, but rebuilding is going to be a big part of it. When Gaza's over, when Syria is finished, is Lebanon, is the UAE going to be a big part of rebuilding?
Brett, I think the region is moving away from just giving away easy money. It depends on the conditions of these rebuilding. Is there the right combination of countries who are party to it? So it's not about an individual country or a small number of countries who are just going to come and throw in money.
Last thing, look into the crystal ball, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, UAE and the Middle East. What do you see?
I see a lot of hope. Brett, this is a country which is just over 50 years old since its federation. Just 15 years before that, so 65 years ago, we had our first hospital, believe it or not, built by an American missionary. And I'm delighted to see that last year we had over 1 million Americans coming and visiting the UAE. Tells you a lot about how safe, how prosperous, and how exciting this part of the world is.
So you see good things?
I see good things. I mean, I wouldn't be in this job if I was not optimistic.
Yeah. Your Highness, we really appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
I don't think I realized how quickly the UAE had developed, that only 65 years ago they had their first hospital that was started by a missionary, and now they have over 1 million guests, million visitors from the United States every single year. That's pretty impressive, especially for the Middle East. I do appreciate the fact that he works with the United States and that he works with Israel as part of the Abraham Accords. I do like the fact that he's apprehensive about a nuclear Iran, and that he is at least thinking about what the potential possibilities for a future in Gaza might be. I'm a little bit concerned the fact that he's open to the idea of the Palestinian Authority becoming part of the solution in Gaza. We tend to think, in comparison to Hamas, that the Palestinian Authority under Mahmoud Abbas is some sort of moderate group. They're not really a moderate group. They still are paying pay for slay, meaning that if someone commits terrorist activity in Israel, they are given a lifetime of compensation. Their family is given a lifetime of compensation from the government. That's not exactly a peace partner in that region. So there is some things to be optimistic in what he says over here, and the fact that some of the values that their country, that the UAE shares with the West, and that it is West looking, but there is still some concern when it comes to how to move forward post-Gaza war, what that exactly looked like. But it is reassuring that there's good room for optimism among some of the nations that are in the Middle East, instead of hearing just bad news all the time and terrorists and infighting and whatnot. So I am happy that we are establishing good relationships with countries like the UAE. It's just a matter of how is this going to play out when it comes to Iran and when it comes to Gaza. I guess time will tell. If you like this content overall, hit that subscribe button over there in the corner. We'd love to stay in touch. Take care.